Context is important. It's the reason why, if you're at a bus stop and a dude walks up to you with scissors and clippers, you should probably run the fuck away. But if a guy walks up to you with scissors and clippers at a barbershop, it's no big deal. See, most of our interactions aren't inherently bad or inherently good. They are dependent upon the setting and the intent behind them, which in turn gives us context, which matters when we're judging something. We now live in a time of infinite content, so we don't have the time to properly evaluate and assess each situation. And we're being lazy. We're not trying to understand or come to a place of common ground. Basically, it's easier now than ever to clip someone out of context and make them look like a fucking asshole. And it takes us a while to catch up to these misleading narratives. And to be fair, we're all different people with different perspectives, so sometimes words mean different things to us. And I think that anyone is allowed to be personally offended by whatever they choose. However, taking a moral high ground stand against anyone who doesn't reaffirm your own beliefs in situations and contexts that have nothing to do with you, they don't make you progressive, they don't make you righteous, they make you narcissistic. See, the problem isn't that people are personally offended by things, it's that they act like everyone has to be offended by the same things that offend them. Basically, there's nothing wrong with finding the word retard offensive. But to sit here and act like everyone has to stop saying the word retard in any context just because you don't like the word is kind of, well, you know. Throughout this year, there have been certain situations which opened my eyes up to how bad this discourse has gotten. The first of which being Kendrick Lamar's backlash he got for the song Auntie's Diaries. To give a little background, the song Auntie Diaries is about Kendrick Lamar's transgender uncle, who was originally his aunt. It details how, despite growing around an environment of homophobia and transphobia, Kendrick still had this close relationship to someone who was a part of the LGBT community. And he still participated in this, act of bigotry and, I guess, discrimination to fit in with his environment. And it's a very powerful song about how it's easy to slip and fall for these agendas if you're growing around them. The track ends with him basically embracing his family member who is trans and denouncing any of the ideologies behind trans and homophobia. So then people who are progressive would enjoy this song and enjoy the message behind it. Right? Right? Despite having a progressive message, the song was still met with backlash because he said the cigarette word, the one that begins with an F. And look, I understand it's a very harsh word, but he's using a discriminatory word to point out the ugliness in this word and how it was used in his environment. And by the end of the track, he even denounced his usage of it. But that didn't matter to people on Twitter. They just saw he said the word and was acting like he was the equivalent of someone from the Westboro Baptist Church because he said it. There's a huge difference in using discriminatory language to actually discriminate and using it to call out the ugliness of that nature and that word. Other people met with backlash are Lizzo and Beyonce for using the word spaz in their music. Do I really have to explain why spaz isn't a slur? To give context to people who actually go outside, the word spaz is being considered a slur because it used to refer to people who were schizophrenic and insult them. Now, I'm not saying that it's okay to insult these people who are schizophrenic, but let's be honest, no one has used spaz to refer to someone who has schizophrenia in very, very long. Going, well, actually, to someone who's using spaz now will only bring back the old meaning. We should allow this word to change and not have the discriminatory nature anymore. That's why even though Shakespeare's texts were in English, I can't understand the fucking thing the guy is saying because so much has changed about our language in those centuries since he's written them. Dumb used to refer to someone who was deaf.
and lame used to refer to someone who was crippled. But when I hear you call someone dumb and lame, I don't go, oh my god, they're deaf and crippled? Because it doesn't make any fucking sense. I know that's not what it means anymore. When you're on the hub and search up ass, I'm pretty sure you don't get videos of donkeys either. That'd be pretty fucking weird. And when someone says bitch, they aren't referring to an actual female dog. These are changes that everyone understands and everyone acknowledges. But sometimes we don't like to admit it. I want to conclude this video by saying discriminatory language used to insult, hurt, or belittle someone is never okay. However, using this language to illustrate the ugliness and discrimination can create important conversations and bring about change. That's why something like Kendrick's Anti-Diaries shouldn't be dismissed entirely off the bat. And also, words can change meaning, so giving backlash to Beyonce and Lizzo is kinda pointless. Words can be powerful, don't get me wrong, but they are merely tools for communication. We should listen more to the message they are trying to convey than the words itself.